Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. I've been away for a few days down in Melbourne for Christmas, and look, what I want to talk to you today about is the word posh. Now, you can look it up on the internet and you'll probably find about 5 or 6 different definitions for it, but I can tell you now that the word stands for Port Out, Starboard Home. That is, it's an acronym, and it derives originally from the travel habits of British public servants who were being sent out to colonial India. The idea being that when one travelled to India, which was predominantly from north to south, one didn't want the western sun beaming through the porthole of their cabin as they were trying to have a nana nap in the afternoon. So look, if you want to travel posh, what you need to do is, when you're booking an aircraft flight, which is how most of us travel these days, is that you need to pick the side of the aircraft which is going to be away from the western sun when you're travelling north to south, and even when you're travelling then back home south to north. So look, what I've done here on Virgin Australia is I've picked my seat. It's back in cattle class, as you can see. I'm behind the wing. I'm certainly not in business class. Anyone who flies business class between Melbourne and Sydney clearly either isn't paying for their fare, or they've got so much money to burn that they can just waste it on a 1-hour flight. We're just arriving here now in Melbourne. We can see the air brakes and the flaps on the wing of this Boeing 737-800 being manipulated. We're just about to land, and we're now on the tarmac, and he's made a very clean and neat landing of the whole thing. You can see in the distance there the terminal at Melbourne Airport, which is currently under reconstruction. There seems to be some building going on at the end where the
Welcome on board your Virgin Australia flight 216 for the flight number of VA849. My name is Abby, and I do have the
anyway, look,
pleasure
I had my Christmas day and Boxing Day with the family. I'm now heading back to Sydney, and what I've done is I've picked a seat on the starboard side of the aircraft because I'm flying south to north. It's early afternoon. Here we are on the tarmac. We're just taxiing past the international terminal of Melbourne Airport, and we're about to make our way onto the runway. Here we are, just turned onto the runway. We've been asked to sit down and buckle our seats, and now we're accelerating in what turned out to be an Embraer E190, which is an aircraft I've never flown on before. I've flown on a couple of Embraers in the past, but much smaller aircraft than this. But I have to say, I was very impressed with this. It's only 2 seats on either side of the aisle, and it was a very comfortable little flight. We've just made it up into the air. We're currently, because of the wind direction, I think we took off to the south, and now we have to do a bit of a 180-degree turn in order to get ourselves oriented towards Sydney. So what we're going to see here is a little bit of the western suburbs of Melbourne, which have expanded a huge amount since I last lived in the city. The western suburbs used to be an area that really nobody wanted to live in unless you were an aircraft spotter. But these days there's a huge growth corridor out around the airport and beyond, and Melbourne really is a massively expanding city. It was 2 million people when I first lived there, but now it's about 4 million. Anyway, look, we've done our 45 minutes in the air, and we're now over Sydney, and you can see there in the shot a small portion of Port Hacking. Now, Port Hacking is sort of probably the smallest of the harbours that infiltrate their way through the suburbs of Sydney. It's south of Botany Bay, which is south of Sydney Harbour itself, and the largest harbour is in fact Broken Bay, which is to the north. But there's probably about 20 kilometres of Sydney suburbs between Sydney Harbour and Broken Bay. But look, yeah, Port Hacking, it's a nice little harbour inlet. You can sail your boat many kilometres down through it and back again. And it's the area around which the reality TV program Sylvania Waters was filmed back about 15 years or so ago. That was really the first reality TV program that was filmed here in Australia. Anyway, look, our little Embraer is descending fairly rapidly over what's now Cogra, which was the home of Clive James, for all you people in England and Britain who may have watched Clive James over the years. You can see that's his house there. Oh, you've just gone past it. Look, Sydney is look, it's a fantastic city to live in, really. I mean, it's an international city. It's got some world-renowned architectural icons, the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House. But the one thing that you really do note when you're outside of Sydney or you're above it are all the little terracotta roofs. They're everywhere, although now they're being replaced by all these high-rise apartment blocks which are being bought by investors in Guangzhou and Shanghai, and they're forcing up the real estate values here in a ridiculous fashion. The place that I live in has gone up in value 3 times in the last 14 years since I bought it, which is just absurd. Look, ordinarily I'd be very happy with that sort of financial gain, but what it means is that if I want to move out of this place, the place that I move into has also gone up by 3 or 4 times its value in the last 14 years. So, that's a bit of a false economy, and I'm not really going to be crowing about it too much on this channel. Yes, so we've just landed. Our Virgin Australia pilot has done a very neat little landing there. We can see the air brakes up, and we're back here in Sydney now. So that's how you do it. If you want to do your travel posh, what you need to remember is what time you're travelling, which direction you're travelling, and you want to make sure that the western sun is not going to be shining through the window that you're sitting next to as you're making your journey, because there's nothing worse than being blinded by the direct sunlight shining through your window. So that's it. That's my brief trip from Sydney to Melbourne and back again. And I hope you enjoyed this little video, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.